What's up everyone? It's Rayvon from Love Lola. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am just so happy to have you here with me. Make sure that you take a moment to look down below in the description box because that's where you're going to find a link to where you can purchase the pattern. I'm going to have links to where I purchase my materials, my vinyls, my zippers, my hardware. If I'm using it, you're going to have a link to where you can find it. Today, we're going to be making What's up everyone? First I want to say I apologize. My neighbor is having yard work done. I've waited for about 2 hours hoping they would stop, but they're not. So I'm sorry. There's going to be a little bit of background noise. So yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead, get all of your pieces cut out. And if you're using, she's really good about describing her interfacing and her stabilizing. So if you're using material that's similar to hers, then just pay attention to the instructions and do what she's doing. I'm going to be stabilizing and interfacing a little bit differently just because I am using leather today. This is my new hide that I got recently. I'm super excited about it. I felt like this is the perfect pattern to cut into it, so let's get it. Because it's leather, it's not a super thick leather. Like, it's thin enough to where I feel like I can get away without skiving. So I'm not, but I don't think that I need a stabilizer. So what I did was I cut out my main panel pieces and then I used my stabilizer piece to cut out interfacing. And it's a little bit of a thicker interface. I used the Sofuse Plus from Casting, I think it's Casting Handcrafted. It's a little bit thicker of a woven interfacing, and I use this stabilizer piece to cut out that woven interfacing, and then I placed it on the back of my main panel pieces. Yes, I do interface leather. I've done it every time I use leather. I've never had any problems. I just put my heat on about 300 and I only hold it on for about 6 seconds, and I've never had an issue. So you know, do it at your own risk, but I do it. My little connector piece that's going to go on the bottom, I did not interface that. I just don't think it's necessary with this being leather. I've got my zipper panel pieces cut out. I did put a little strip of interfacing down the middle. I've got my gusset cut out, also interfacing down the middle. I've got my zipper cut out. You know, I mimicked that same thing in my lining material. I am using waterproof canvas for my lining, so I will not be interfacing my lining. For my main lining, the 2 bigger pieces, I'm actually using, what am I doing? I'm tripping. For my main panel pieces and for my gusset piece, I'm actually going to be using vinyl. I don't know why I cut this out in waterproof, but I'm gonna go recut this out in vinyl just because for smaller bags, I like to use vinyl as my lining because 1, I don't have to interface it, and 2, it gives me a little bit more structure that I'm looking for when I'm dealing with a small bag. I don't like it to be super squishy. So my main panel lining is going to be in vinyl like this, and I'm not interfacing it. For the lining, we have got these little pieces that need to be cut out. the side panels. We're gonna cut out 4 of those total. We need 2 of them to be, you know, traced right side facing up and 2 to be mirrored. We've got some pockets to cut out. One is going to be, well, I don't want to give out the measurements, just read the instructions. But we've got 2 zipper pockets to cut out. And then we've also got a super long card slot piece that needs to be cut out. Now, baby, let's talk about these straps. I am so pumped about these straps. I think they're genius. I haven't even put it together yet, but I know it's gonna be badass. Like, I'm just so pumped about these straps. Why has no one ever thought to do it like this? Or maybe they haven't, I just haven't seen it. But anyway, I love the straps. Go ahead and follow your pattern pieces. She gives you all of the pieces and you just have to tape them together to get this gorgeous strap going. I've done that. There is a stabilizer piece that you use on your strap. Like I said, I'm not stabilizing this because I don't feel like I need it with this leather. For my strap, I'm doing one side in leather and the other side in vinyl. So what I did was I used this strap stabilizer piece and cut out woven interfacing instead of stabilizer. Okay, and that's what I'm going to use on my leather and on my other piece, because you do have to cut out 2 of these so that you can place them wrong sides together. Okay, now once you get your straps cut out, grab one of them and grab a ruler. And you want to measure up from the bottom 1/2 inch and draw a line across there. Then you want to measure in 1 inch and make a mark. And you want to do that on both sides. Okay? Now once you have that mark made, you're going to grab your, if you're using stabilizer, grab your stabilizer. If you're using interfacing like me, grab your interfacing, and you're going to place it right there between those 2 lines. See? And then you want to lay your interfacing or stabilizer so that it goes down the middle of this strap. And then you get that put on. Now that is also going to stand as a kind of guide for you on this next part. So what you want to do is go to the top and you want to measure 1 inch in. So this strap, when it ends, it's going to be at 2 inches. So the middle of it is going to be 1 inch. So you want to measure in at 1 inch and draw a line long way. And you're going to do that all the way till you get down. And eventually that 1 inch mark is going to go to the outside of this stabilizer piece. You can stop there if you want to. If you're like me, I don't trust my cutting. I don't trust it. I mean, who am I? I can't do it. It's never going to be perfect. So if you would like, what I did is I continued to measure 1 inch and draw a line all the way down, just in case, because when we put this on, we have to do our best to keep it centered, but we're not perfect. You know, it may not stay exactly centered. So I went ahead and measured all the way down the strap 1 inch so that I can have a sure guide, because we're going to be placing these 2 straps, you know, wrong side together, and it needs to be exactly the same size or it's going to be meh. So that's what I did. I just went ahead and measured 1 inch all the way down until the very end, and now I know when I go back to fold that later, I have that mark just in case my stabilizer is off. With that being said, the next thing you want to do is grab some double-sided tape, and then you want to place it along the outermost part of your strap on both sides. She said to go ahead and use a thicker tape. You know, usually I use 1/8, but because we have all this going on, I did use a thicker one like she recommended. And now I'm going to get my backing off. And we're going to be folding in to that line that we made earlier. Okay, now once you've got one side folded over, go ahead and just rotate it and do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so we've got one strap done, and now we want to do the exact same thing to the other strap. How cool is that? Okay, so like I mentioned, I am using leather. So what I did was I went ahead and applied cement, all-purpose cement to the leather because I don't think that that double-sided tape would have been strong enough to hold this leather. So I do use barge. I got this off of Amazon. I'll have the link down below my video. I'll always put a link to everything that I use. Yes, so it's for it's a permanent hold for leather. You do have to let it cure for about 15 minutes. So I did this one first. It should be good to go. And I'm going to start folding this over. Okay, now once you've got both of your strap pieces folded over, you're just going to place them right sides together and get them clipped so that we can sew them together. All right, let's go and get these attached. We're going to be sewing at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance around the whole thing. I'm going to start here. I'm probably going to go ahead and go across here to baste it all together because why not? All the way down and back around 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Check out this strap, baby. Yes! I love it. Trim this down a little bit. Oh my goodness. Alexis, baby. I love this so much. Ah! Okay. I love it. Okay. Let's grab our zipper panels, the exterior, the lining, and our zipper. Now make sure that you have put your zipper pulls on and you want them to be facing in when you put them on from each end, okay? The little part is facing in. That way we can, you know, do that stuff. All right. Lay one of your lining pieces right side up and then grab your zipper piece and you're gonna lay it on top of that right side up as well. Now we are going to be basting that together right now. I'm feeling a little bit lazy, so I am applying double-sided tape instead of basting it, okay? But do whatever, do you. Okay, so if you're gonna baste it, go ahead and get that basted on at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Once that's done, you're going to grab one of your exterior zipper pieces and we're gonna lay it right side facing down. And you can either use double-sided tape like I'm doing or you can get some clips and just get that attached. Okay, and now we're gonna head to the machine. I'm gonna put my zipper foot on and I'm gonna get this attached at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, once we have that attached, we want to finger press our zipper panels away from the zipper. Okay. And now we're going to go and get a top stitch added. Right along the zipper. I am clipping mine just because I hate when I get that done and then I can't zip my zipper because it's so close. Because this is 3/8 of an inch, I have that fear in me. So I'm gonna pull this away as taut as I can without overstretching before I go back and add that top stitch. Just pray that it does right. I can't be the only one who's had that happen, right? I know that I went exactly 3/8 of an inch, but then it still gives me trouble when it's time for me to try to zip it up. I don't know why it does that. It's so annoying. Not today, Satan. All right. Okay, and now I'm going to go and put my normal foot back on, because I do think that that also helps a little bit when we're top stitching this zipper, to keep everything where it needs to be. All right, so we're gonna go and get that top stitch at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, so we've got this one side completely finished. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing to the other side. Grab your other lining piece, lay it right side up. You're gonna lay your zipper panel right side up on top of it, get it basted down, and then add your zipper exterior right side down, get it all attached at 3/8 of an inch, flip it over, and do that top stitch. All right, once you have your zipper panel done, go ahead and grab your lining gusset piece, and you want it to be right side facing up. We're going to place our zipper piece also right side facing up, and we're going to get that basted together at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm going to use double-sided tape because your girl is tired. All right, and so we want to center this. You will notice that your gusset is slightly larger than your zipper panel, and that's fine. She said it was on purpose, so mind your business. Center it and keep it moving, all right? Now we're gonna go and get this attached at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, once you have that basted or taped together, whatever you're gonna do, grab your exterior gusset piece, and now we want this to be right side facing down. Clip it together. And we're gonna go and get this sewn together at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay. Now she mentioned that she likes to put a few extra stitches right over where the zipper is, so I did that as well. Okay, so now we're gonna open it up. And gently, well, first she said to trim down the exterior gusset down to 1/8 of an inch. And that's the only one we're trimming. Just the exterior gusset piece. Okay. Now we can go ahead and make it so that the lining of the gusset, the exterior and the lining are wrong sides touching. Press it out. Okay, and once we have that pressed out, we're gonna go and add a top stitch right here along the gusset at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, so we've got that gusset attached, we've got our top stitch on. Now we're gonna repeat that entire process to the other side. So we're gonna find our gusset lining. Here we go. We're gonna take the exterior piece and move it out of the way. I've got my tape again. Gusset lining is right side facing up. The zipper piece that we've made is also right side facing up. We're going to center it. Remember, the gusset is going to be slightly larger. And now you're going to go and baste that at 1/8 of an inch. I've used double-sided tape, so I am going to just grab my gusset exterior and I'm going to place it right side facing down, right on top of that. Okay, and now we're gonna go and sew this at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, I've got that attached. I went ahead and trimmed down my exterior gusset just like before. Now I'm going to flip it out. There we go. And I'm going to go back and do that top stitch just like before. There you go, right along there at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, once we have this gusset piece finished, we can go ahead and set it to the side. I did go ahead and baste along the outer edge on both sides just to get everything held together, so we'll be good to go when we go to add this to the main panel. All right, grab your main panel pieces, and I went ahead and added my logo to it on my front panel. For my logo, I added it about 2 inches down and centered, and then I have this little custom-made label, and I added that in 1 inch and up, slightly less than 2 inches. All right, let's grab our back panel and our connector piece. Now go ahead and measure up 3/4 of an inch and draw a line down the middle a long way. Then get you a piece of double-sided tape applied. Go ahead and fold that in. If you don't want to use double-sided tape, you can just clip it. Whatever works. Oh, what size is this? Because I don't have, only have 1 inch. What size is this connector? 1/2 of an inch or 1 inch? We're gonna find out, huh? Okay, and now we're gonna go and top stitch at 1/8 of an inch around the entire thing. Okay, so go ahead and get your D-rings or whatever it is that you're using onto your connector piece. And then we want to measure up 1.5 inches from the bottom. Place your connector piece right over that. Here. Go ahead and clip it together. And there's going to be just a tiny bit of the connector hanging over the sides. It's fine. Now let's go and baste that at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and trim off the edge so that everything is flush. And measure in 1.5 inch from the side. Make a mark in the center of your connector. Repeat to the other side. When you go to punch that hole, make sure that your material is lying, you know, as flat as possible to make sure that you're punching the hole in the correct spot of the connector and also the panel. All right, let's get our connectors put in. Okay, now take your hardware that you're using to attach your strap and move them out, and then go ahead and get your rivets installed. Okay, once we have that set, we can go ahead and put this to the side. Oh, I'm so pumped. It looks so good already. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Okay, yeah, let's move this to the side. Let's grab that long piece that we have that's going to be our card slots. Now she gives us some measurements. So go ahead and get your measurements on. I'm not going to give them out for the sake of not giving out our information. But the first mark that we make is going to be the big one. And then you're going to just continue to make the marks just like she tells you in the instructions. The first bend that we're going to do is going to be wrong sides touching. So wrong sides are touching on that first bend. And I'm going to finger press it. And then I'm going to press it on my heat press really quick. All right. So first bend is right sides together. Wrong sides touching. The second bend that we make is going to be the opposite. So we're going to be bending right sides touching, wrong side touching, right side touching, and so forth. Just back and forth, back and forth. So here's my next bend. So this time the right sides are touching. And when you do these, sometimes it tends to kind of want to shift a little bit to the side. See how I was doing that? So more important than, you do want to bend it exactly on the line, but while you're bending it on the line, you also want to make sure that everything on the side is staying lined up. See? And I'm not great at cutting, so it's a tad bit off, but as long as it's the same on both sides, then I'm going to be happy. Okay, so I've got that bent. I'm going to put it under my heat press for about 2 seconds. All right, time to switch it. So this time, wrong sides are touching. All right, and keep going until you get all the way done. I'm just kidding, but she said that's fine. Okay, once you have completely done all of your folds, then go ahead and press it, get it nice and flat and crisp. Don't you love a pretty card slot? Oh, that looks good, girl. Okay, so now what we need to do is go and stitch each edge, okay? So we're gonna be separating it and putting a top stitch on here at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Also along here, here, and here, okay? Okay, now I forgot to say, you'll notice that on the back, this piece is going to be slightly shorter than the other. She said, it's okay. She said, mind your business. Don't worry about it. So it's fine. So now we have sewn all of those pieces. What we want to do is open it up. Mine is sticking together a little bit because
I'm just a little scared.
I ironed it. What's wrong, baby?
I'm just a little scared.
You a little scared to walk down the stairs by yourself because it's nighttime? All right, give me a second. Okay, so we are going to place the two edges, the short edges, right sides together. Okay, and now we're gonna go and sew these together at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. And it's right sides touching. Okay. Okay, let's trim that down to about 1/8 of an inch. Now we are going to flip this back so that it's right side facing out. Find my top. Kind of lost here. It's okay. Give it a second. Where am I? Where is my top? Okay, got it. Whew, I got scared for a second. I couldn't figure it out. I think this is it. Okay. Pretty sure this is right. About 95% sure. All right. Yeah, so take your time. You'll be able to get it back the way it was. It just takes a second because that piece on the bottom is not exactly on the bottom. So it's going to kind of make it seem a little weird and not want to do what it wants to do, but just show it who's boss. So on the back, that crease is slightly up from the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. It's not at the very bottom, so it gives you a little bit of, but it's fine. Okay, now once you have it straightened out, we're gonna go ahead and press it one more time. I'm gonna just stick it under my heat press really quick. Okay, so now we want to measure in 3.5 inches. Making sure that our grid is straight along the top of this. Grab an erasable marker and make a line. And now we're going to go and do a top stitch on that line. Whenever you are going over the piece where your top stitch is, you might want to go ahead and do a back stitch once or twice over each one. So right here, we can back stitch right there, you know, because you're going to be putting cards in there. So just a little bit extra stability. All right, let's go do that really quick. Alrighty, now we can set this aside for now. Grab one of your main lining pieces and make sure that you have it the right side facing up because they look kind of similar, but the top is a little bit more pronounced dome than the bottom. So make sure that it is right side facing up. And then grab that piece that we just did. And from the bottom, we want to measure up 1 1/4 inch. Okay. Place your card slots right there. Pin. Okay, and now we're going to go and get this connected. So we're going to sew along the side, across the bottom, and back up the other side. And 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, now, I think I might have said 1 1/4 inch. That needs to be sewn at 1 1/2 inch up from the bottom. Okay, once you've got that on, grab those pieces that we cut, those 4 mirrored pieces. And we actually want the thin part, the narrow part, to be towards the top. There we go. All right, and now we want the right sides to be touching. We're gonna pin it. And we're matching up the corners right there. Now my card slot stretched or something, so it's a little bit further out than it should be. I'm just gonna trim it down. That way I keep everything where it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? There we go. All right, let's try that again. Narrow end is at the top. All right. Right sides are touching and pin it. All right, and now we're gonna go and get these sewn together at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, now let's press that piece out to the side. This is very interesting. Okay, and now we are going to go and do a top stitch along both of these sides here. and here at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And that top stitch is going on this side piece, okay? It's gonna be, you know, it's kind of not really much there at the top, but it's cool. It's okay. Very interesting. Okay, so yeah, let's go get our top stitch on. Okay, once we have that done, I'm just going to use my main panel template and line it up at the top, and then just trace the side of that to get where I need to cut that off. And then for this bottom piece that's hanging off, we can just trim our seam allowance down. And that'll get rid of that. And I'm going to be trimming down this entire seam allowance down to about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, now let's grab our zipper pockets and our, I believe it was the 7-inch zipper. We're going to be working with zipper pocket number 2, the smaller one. I believe that was the number 2. Place it right side up. Place your zipper right side up and baste it right along the top at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, once you have that attached, you want to basically rotate it around so that your pocket is still right side facing up. And now we're going to grab the other end of that zipper tape and place it along the top. Now, if I didn't mention, you should have about 1/2 of an inch hanging out on either side of this pocket. It's fine. All right, we're going to baste that at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, now grab your zipper number 1 and place it right side facing up. Now we're going to grab the zipper pocket that we just made, and we're going to place it so that the zipper tape is facing down onto this pocket, and center it. If the zipper's bothering you, you can take it off. It doesn't really matter. You can put it back on later. Okay, so get that centered and pin it together. And now we're going to go and attach this at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, so we are here. We've just attached that to zipper number 1. Prepare to get your mind blown. Lift this up and grab your zipper. This is the top of your exposed zipper that is not connected. It is connected to something, but it's still exposed, is what I meant. Now grab the bottom of your zipper pocket number 1. Yes, 1. And have those two meet. So the right sides of both of these are touching. The right sides of the zipper and the right side of the zipper and the right side of the pocket. Place them together and clip. If you're like me, this feels very wrong. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel right. That's why I'm not good at putting together stuff like this. Alexis is just, she's got a gift. Because right now I'm like, well, this is out, and that's facing in, and that one's facing out, and now they're all connected, and I'm freaking out, you know, but it's cool. It's fine. Just do it. So this is what it looks like from the side. You can see. It's fine. So now we're going to sew this together at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, so now we're going to turn this inside out. I'm not sure how yet, but we are. I feel like I'm gonna stitch it right along the edge of this really quick. You know what? No, I'm not, because if the zipper comes off, it's fine, and we'll just put it back on. Okay, so let's try to turn this inside out. So we're going through the zipper. I opened my zipper and I'm going through that part. Oh, it came apart. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to remember what exactly is happening here. Okay, that is, okay, I see. I see. That is the zipper. Okay, so once you have it turned out, what she wants you to do is this material at the top, she wants you to let it come down over the zipper just a little bit. You see how you bend it over to the zipper and it's right there? Can you see that? So we're just taking this extra material. So we're just grabbing this extra material right here and kind of folding it over the zipper tape like that. And once you do that, she wants you to give it a little bit of a press. So you're basically wrapping this lining around this zipper tape right here. I know it's dark, so it's hard to see, but the zipper tape that's up there, the zipper tape that's up there, that's what we're using as our guide to wrap around. See? That's how we know where to stop. So we've got that lining wrapped around that zipper tape that's behind it, and we've also folded it over the actual zipper tape. So now we're gonna go and add 2 top stitches. One top stitch is gonna be right over the zipper tape, and the second one is gonna be up here 1/8 inch from the top. If you want, you can go ahead and take your zipper off, because we're gonna have to take it off in a second anyway. I'm gonna take it off. Okay, now once you've got that top stitched, we are going to add a top stitch on this zipper. So just fold it over. Nothing too serious. All right, so I am going to go and add a top stitch along this bottom zipper tape on the black fabric. Okay, so now we're going to turn this out, inside out, or wrong side out, one more time. Because what we need to do now is close up this pocket. You see this? This needs to be closed. Bloop, just like that, okay? So we're going to turn it inside out and close that up really quick. I'm starting to get confused, but I can do it. I can do it. Okay, where'd it go? Where's that pocket? We're closing up. Here we go. So if you get confused, it's going to be the smaller one that we're closing up. This one, not this one. All right, so I'm going to find my zippers, place them together. So the inside of my zippers are touching each other. I'm going to pin that. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Open it up, and I'm making sure that both of my zippers are going in the same direction. So I have both of the inside or the wrong side of my zipper teeth touching. All right, and now we're going to sew these closed over here at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, now let's turn it right side out again. Oh no, I caught a piece of the pocket. Right there, you see that? Should I redo it or should I just leave it? Oh, I think I have to redo it. Ugh. Well, I feel like it's fine. I went up a little bit too far is what happened. I got carried away, okay? Don't go all the way up to the zipper. Stop if you know what's good for you. Okay, I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this. Whatever I just did for this pocket, it didn't work. Because it made it when I turned it out. You see how my pocket is on top of each other? You see how the zipper tape is on top of each other? So I wasn't able to zip it because it's so close together as opposed to being like that. I can't even do it, it's so tight. I hope that makes sense. The zipper tape was more like this, so I couldn't do it. So we can't do whatever I just did. So I'm gonna take it apart and figure out what I did wrong and come back. Okay, so I'm still going to clip the zipper the same way where the undersides are touching, but this time I'm going to stop sewing a lot sooner. So I'm probably gonna stop about 1/2 of an inch to 5/8 of an inch before I get to where the zipper starts. And I think that's gonna fix that problem. All right, let's try it again. Try it one more time. I think this is gonna be it, y'all. I feel good about it. I'm gonna have a sip of wine just in case. My nerves have been bad today. Nothing like wine out of your kid's cup, right? It just tastes better. Okay. That was good. All right, now let's try this again. Please work, please work. Hallelujah. That did it. That did it. Thank you, Lord. Okay. Okay, so let's grab our other lining piece. Remember, the top is the side that has a little bit more of a dome on it. Grab your ruler. Place it 1 1/4 inch from the bottom. Grab that zipper. You can press it if you like. Place it right over that ruler. Perfect. Okay. Get it pinned. Ooh. We're almost done, y'all. Okay, now we're gonna baste it just like before along the side, the bottom, and back up the other side. Okay, once we have that on, we're gonna do just like before, grab our 2 side pieces. The narrow piece goes towards the top. Place them so that they're right sides touching. And then go and get attached at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. If you need to trim your pocket first, go for it. I have just a little bit hanging over. There we go. Okay, once I got that done, just like before, I used my pattern piece to trim off the top. All right, so now let's grab our lining and our panel pieces. You can decide which side you want your pockets and your card slots to be. If you like your card slots to be on the back of the bag, then pair it up with the back of the bag. If you like it to be with the front, then pair it up with the front. You know, do what you do. Let me see. Why do I have to pretend like I'm putting this on to understand what I want? All right, I think I want my card slots to be on the front. All right, so my card slots going on the front. Okay, do one last check. Make sure you've got your rivets on. Make sure you've got your rivets set. Make sure you've got a label if you want to add a label. Make sure you got this custom made tag. If you want to do this custom made tag, hit me up. You know, it's cute. Don't do me. Okay, so now we've got our lining paired up with our main panel exteriors. And what we want to do is just baste them together. So if you mark the midpoint, congratulations, you get an A+. I did not. So I'm going to, you know what, I'm gonna do it right now because it always makes it easier, right? When we start getting the gusset added. I should have done it originally, but I didn't. How cute is this zipper? It's a zipper. Wait, it's a pocket. It's both. Ah, I love it. Okay, now let's get our midpoints matched up. Okay, so I have I found my midpoints and then I matched up my lining to my main panels. They are wrong sides touching. Okay, so the correct side of both of them are showing right now. And now we're gonna go and baste around both of them, the entire thing at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, grab your strap and go ahead and find the midpoint. Then grab your back panel piece and we're going to place our strap right along the top, matching up those midpoints. Now she does say, if you're like me and you have like a front and a back of your flap, when you do this part, make sure that the top side of your strap is facing up with the back panel facing up right now. You're gonna pin that on. And now we're gonna go and attach this at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, once we have that attached, we're gonna roll this up a little bit just to kind of get it out of the way. Kind of thick because it's leather, but you know, I'm gonna have to just work it out. There's no crying and sewing, right? I just made that up. Oh. All right. Okay. Move. Grab your gusset and line up your, let me get some more pins. Y'all, my daughter took all of my clips. I keep reaching for them and realizing I have to walk away. This is what she did with my clips last night. And they're way over there and I keep forgetting I need them. Okay, anyway, if you have kids, you already know. Okay, so let's grab our gusset and match up the midpoint. You right there. Nice, nice. And clip it. Ow. I'm getting so excited because I'm almost done, y'all. I don't think y'all know how pumped I am about this bag. All right, so basically we just did that so that we can find our new midpoints. Snip it. I did not skive my leather because I know everybody's gonna ask, because I don't have a machine, and I broke my wrist a couple of years ago. And when I started skiving last time I did some leather, it felt like my wrist was breaking all over again. It was too painful. So this leather is a little bit softer, so I feel like I can get away with it without skiving, but it is starting to get a little thick. I like them thick, huh? Okay, so we've done that. And she said to go ahead and flip it so that your gusset is wrong side facing out. Ooh, even the inside is sexy looking. Look at that. I love black and brown. Something about it, right? So classy. She said gather a bunch of clips, so get your clips ready, honey. Thank you, Lola, for getting all my clips together for me. Appreciate you. Good looking out. And the bottom notches. Okay, so we want to get our front panel piece. And we want to match up our top and bottom notches. So this is going to be the top because that's where the zipper is. Duh. The zipper opens both ways, so it doesn't matter which way you add it. You know what I mean? So we're going to find that midpoint, clip it. Find the bottom midpoint. And now we are going to clip around the entire thing. Now, you know over here where it gets a little bit smaller, she said it's fine. Just, you know, start to maneuver your bag so that it gradually lines up. It's okay. She also says that you can staple to help keep everything together. I am going to use a little bit of double-sided tape on my corners. I don't like to staple just because it's such a pain to me to take the staples out. So what I do is I usually add double-sided tape just on my corners because that tends to be the only place that I really have problems, you know? And then when I add tape in the corners and then clamp on top of it, it generally stops it from moving. So I'm going to do that today, like I always do. Okay, now let's get everything attached. I always like to start at the top because the top is just, I don't know, it's more important, right? And then I'm going to just work my way around. Okay, once you have it all the way clipped around, we're gonna go and get this sewn together at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Now, Alexis always tells us to use staples, and I never do because I did it one time years ago, and it took me so long to take them out that I said I will never do that again. But I'm gonna try it today, just because my leather is thicker than I don't know. I just don't want to mess up, and I don't want it shifting on me because the leather is a little bit heavier than vinyl usually, and my tape always works, but I'm a little bit afraid it may not do the trick today with this leather. So I'm going to go ahead. I went ahead and stapled just around the corners, and yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, so my verdict on the staples is hell yeah. That just changed the game. Oh my God. I don't even care how hard it is to take the staples out. It just made this so easy. Is this what you guys have been doing all this time? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. It made it so easy. Do the staples. I don't even care about taking them out. You know what? And this is my bag. I'm probably going to leave them in. I just cannot be bothered. Yeah, taking it out is a problem. But they make those tools. I remember back in my corporate America days, there's a little thing that takes the staples out. So I guess if you invest in one of those, they're very cheap, I'm sure, then it wouldn't be a problem. But as far as like using my nails to take these out, I'm not doing that. It's gonna just have to stay. But yes, I recommend it. Okay, now do this. Okay, now before we go to our next step, go ahead and flip it out and give it a little look-see over, because you want to make sure that no you know, stitching is showing or anything like that. Oh my gosh, she is gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I love when a bag makes me feel like that. Okay, yeah, so make sure you don't have any seams showing on the side or anything. And I think I'm good to go. Oh, I lied. Right there, there's a little bit, see? Barely. Okay, so I'm going to make a mark on the inside really quick so I can know to go and tap that up from here to here. I just made a little line on my seam, so I'll know to go and fix that. Okay, so I'm gonna do all that while I'm over there at one time. What we're gonna do next is grab our pre-made bias tape. I am using this. I got it off of Amazon. I have black somewhere, but I can't find it, and I just don't feel like looking for it. So it is what it is. And this should be 36 inches. Okay, look y'all. I don't do bias tape. I do it, but I don't do it for real. So if you want to do it the correct way, then please follow the instructions in the pattern or go to YouTube. There are thousands of videos because some people really care about bias tape. I'm not that person. You know, kudos to you. So what I am going to do is I am going to just take the bias tape, and this is completely wrong. What you should do is open your bias tape and put it along the edge and attach it at about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. After you have attached it, you would go back and fold it over like that. Bam. And you would be good to go. That's how you do bias tape. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to take it. I'm going to open it. I am going to fold my end. I lie. I don't need to fold my end because I'm going to cover it up when I come back around. I'm going to open it and place it over like that. And then I'm going to clip it. And then I'm going to sew around the entire thing and cross my fingers and hope that I catch it. I'm just being honest. That's how I do it, y'all. You know, I just can't. So, yeah, best of luck to you. This bag is for me, so even if I miss some of my thread in the shows, I don't really care. So it's fine. Sometimes I don't even put bias on my own makes. So please, you know, do it the way that you need to do it. Follow the instructions. I'm not doing all that. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, so I do want to say, because like I said, I'm using leather, the seams are starting to get a little bit thicker. So I did go back and trim down my seam allowance to about 1/8 of an inch so that I would have, so my bias tape could get around it enough. I hope that that makes sense. Now when I get to the end, I want to tuck it under. So I'm gonna just snip the excess because I didn't measure it. So all you want to do is take that end piece and fold it under so that there's no exposed edges, and then you wrap it around where it started. Bam. I try my best to get them to join at the same point, but again, I'm not too worried about it. All right, and now I'm gonna go and get this top stitched at about 2/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, there we go. Nothing spectacular, just a little bias tape. Oop, I missed a piece right there. Did I? Oh no, it's just a piece of the seam is showing. Oh, it came off right there. Almost. At the very end, it slipped off. See, that's why you're supposed to do what the instructions tell you to do, because it wouldn't slip off if I had done that. But again, I don't care, especially once you fold that in. It's not going to be noticeable. Yeah, once you get that folded in and the other side closed up and you're looking from the inside, guess what? It doesn't matter. Okay, so now we're, oh, baby, you are sexy. Where have you been all my life? Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Okay, and before you move on, make sure that you turn it out and make sure that there's nothing, you know, nothing cut in the seams or just nothing wonky going on. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the other side. Sometimes it's easier to open your gusset when you're working on getting that second half attached. Okay. And get her done. Okay, now when you do it the second time, you can go ahead and let your strap come out through that open zipper. It's gonna make it a little bit easier, okay? Okay, once you've got your second handle connected, we're gonna go ahead and turn it all the way out. This is so nice. I have to take a picture. Where's my phone? I don't know where my phone is. I'm not taking a picture. Oh, it was in my bra. It's the safest place I know, right? Gotta get a picture of the guts. All right, let's turn it out. There we go, baby. All right, play with your seams a little bit. Oh my gosh. Oh, Alexis. I love this so much. Oh, that feels so good. That feels so good. Okay. Let's finish up our strap. Okay. So grab your strap. Grab a swivel hook. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. Grab a strap in if you're going to be using it. And an adjuster. You also need a rivet. Okay, you're going to... okay, you're going to grab your strap adjuster. And you're going to run your strap up. And back over. Pull it through. Now we're going to grab our swivel hook. So now I guess I have to figure out which one I'm going to use. I like this one because it's big. I feel like, you know, this is a bigger bag. So that might be good. But this one's also big. And I kind of like the way that looks. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? I think I'm going to go with this one. I think I like that. It's more like, I don't know, rugged. I don't know. That's what I'm going to do. I hope I don't regret it. No, I think it's cool. Okay, so, and I do have both of these available on my website. Of course, I have to give myself a plug. Your girl is trying to make a living over here, okay? Show me some support. Okay, so I've put it up and through. So now I'm going to run it, and the right side of the strap is still facing up. I'm gonna just run it through this, just like that. And now it's going to go back through that adjuster. So you wanna make sure that your strap is not twisted at this point, okay? So now we've run it through. The bottom side or the wrong side of the strap is touching each other. And you're just going to go back up through that adjuster on the same side that you're touching. Mine is getting a little tight because of the fact that I use leather, but it's all good. Now, once I've got it run up through there, I'm gonna curve it around and run it back down on, and now when I run it back down, it's gonna come through on the opposite side, that side right there, okay? It's a little tight, but we're gonna make it work. It helps if you pull both sides of the strap at the same time. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got it in there, and now I'm going to pull it as tight as I can from this end so that it will kind of help with this part sliding, if that makes sense. All right, I'm going to snip off those pieces of thread. I'm gonna grab my strap end. Let's see, this is the top. So this is the top. Available on my website, again. This is also available. This is 1 inch. I have it in 1 inch and 3/4 inch. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, let me get my screws so I can get that on. All right, that's it, y'all. Alrighty, that's it, y'all. We're done. Oh my gosh. I hope that you love yours as much as I love mine, because I can't. I've only made 1 leather bag before. No, 2. And they were bigger purses, and I don't like bigger purses. I made them for orders and one for my mom, so I was not, So this is my first time making a leather bag that I actually like. You know, that's my style. And I have to say I'm in love. I think I might be hooked. It just feels different. Oh my gosh. This is, ooh, baby. I like the hook. I think it's giving what I want it to give. This is great. Okay, let me get some pictures taken. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's too many lights in here. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go get some pictures taken outside. Oh my God, I love it so much. All right, y'all, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this video today. If you make this bag, I want to see it. Do you understand? I want to see it. So tag me. You can find me on all of the social media platforms. And I'll also go ahead and add all of that stuff in my, I'll add a link to all of that stuff in the video description box as well. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.